Welcome back. Well, today is primary day for 5 states, including closely watched California, where an election interference scandal is already rocking the state. One voting site was vandalized, and then burned mail-in ballots were found in 2 separate drop boxes. An investigation is now underway. Outgoing Governor Gavin Newsom says he's, quote, confident at least one Democrat will advance in the gubernatorial primary. He has even gone as far as saying there's, quote, a break-the-glass contingency plan for the race. Not sure what that means. Candidate Steve Hilton is going after Newsom, meanwhile. He's vowing to investigate Gavin Newsom for what he says is $425 billion in fraud in California. That would be Steve Hilton's first act if he wins, he said. Joining me now is the man himself, Republican California gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton. Steve, great to have you. Welcome back.
Great to be with you, Maria. Thank you.
How are you feeling about the race today, Steve?
Well, I'm feeling confident, but not complacent. We were working very hard right into late night last night and early this morning. We're in Huntington Beach, Orange County, where it all began, where I launched my campaign nearly a year ago. Very happy to see a post from the president last night reminding everyone of his endorsement and encouraging everyone to get out and vote. And that's the real point. We've got the chance to seriously change California, to get us off the track of this insane policy agenda we've had now for 16 years of the Democrats running everything, to get the taxes down, to get the regulations down so we can have business coming back to California instead of leaving, to stop all this insane climate extremism, all the things that have given us the highest poverty rate, the highest unemployment rate, the highest cost of living in the country. We can turn all that around if we put me in the top 2 to face a Democrat in November, because here's the most important point. 56% of Californians think the state is on the wrong track and needs change. And so if we can just get into the primary today, then we've got a real shot at winning in November. But in order to do that, everyone has to vote. The race has got tighter in the last week. I'm confident, but we can't take it for granted.
That is wonderful for you. Good job there. But what about all of these other stories that we're talking about? I mean, a break the glass option, which Gavin Newsom was talking about. What is that? And also, what if there's election interference? I mean, look at what the county authorities are investigating right now. They describe as a possible act of election interference after a small number of vote-by-mail ballots were found burned inside of official drop boxes in downtown L.A., and you had a separate voting center in Long Beach that was vandalized over the same weekend, Steve.
Well, exactly. Well, this is why we've got to change our systems in California. This ridiculous way we have a month of early voting. They send out ballots to everyone on these voter rolls that used to be completely wrong. About 3 years ago, it's 2023, the California Secretary of State said that there were 9 million wrong names on the voter lists in California. Just to put that in context, I'm just going to need just under 6 million to win in November. President Trump got 6.1 million votes here in 2024. It's a huge problem when you've got these voter rolls that are so out of date. They're sending ballots out to everyone. You've got these drop boxes all over the place that aren't secure in the way that people would expect. We got to change the system. But the only way we can do that is actually to win using the current system. That's why what the president said in 2024 is so right. We got to make it too big to rig. Everyone's got to get out and vote. Then we're in a position to bring some sanity back to our election system as well as everything else.
Well, that's right. And the president has been very clear that we need the Save America Act, but that is still languishing. Now, the president just posted on Truth Social again endorsing you. You got great support from President Trump. He writes this: California, vote today for Steve Hilton for governor. He will work with me and the federal government. The money will flow because I have confidence in him, but not any of the others. And we will make California great again. Steve Hilton will never let you down, writes the president. Vote now. What a fantastic endorsement from President Donald J. Trump, Steve. I want to get your take on whether or not you think this is going to resonate. A lot of your colleagues, like, for example, Spencer Pratt, says that a lot of his support is coming from Democrats. Do you feel the same way? Is the support that you're seeing also coming from Democrats?
Yes, but we also need a very strong Republican turnout. That's the basis of getting a victory, because this state is more Republican than people think. I travel the state of California, been on the road nonstop, working incredibly hard for a year. Everywhere you go, you've got strong Republican support. More people voted Republican for President Trump here than in any other state. If we can get that big turnout, that's the starting point for winning. Now you've got to add to that with Democrats and independents. That's why the president's support is so important. And the way that people say, oh, you'll never win in California with Trump support, it's completely ridiculous. They don't know what they're talking about. And as I always point out, when you have someone as governor of California who knows the president and wants to work with the president in a constructive way to open up energy production, to manage our forests better, to fight fraud in our massive bloated health Medi-Cal budgets, all these other ways to enforce immigration law, it's going to bring positive results for Californians. And that's why it's such an honor to have the president's support, and it's going to help us win in California.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, his record has been stellar in terms of who he gets behind and who actually ends up winning. We've seen that repeatedly during this primary season. And you have to believe that many of those deep liberals also have to admit that having a wide open border is dangerous. I mean, Steve, we've got a devastating incident right now in California. An illegal alien deported 3 times is accused of murdering 2 women and an infant. You put the blame directly on Governor Gavin Newsom. You said he has blood on his hands. Your competitors are not even focused on these issues. Illegal immigration is not even in the agenda for billionaire Tom Steyer. He's getting mixed reactions after he touted a California trans athlete who's been crushing female competition in high school track races. I mean, these girls can't even have their day in their high school track race. Javier Becerra, meanwhile, appearing to change course. He says now he claims he's not fully supporting California's policy to ban new gas and hybrid cars in 2035, Steve. Your thoughts?
So this is such a strong example of the insanity that we've been living under in California. You've got this innocent little baby killed, 2 women killed by someone who would have been removed from the country by federal immigration enforcement if you hadn't had California's insane and sick sanctuary policy that protects monsters like this. That's why I wrote that in the California Post. On the trans athletes point, I was there at the state championships just on Friday with a group of brave young women standing up for female athletes. I actually supported them a year ago at the championships because it's, even a majority of Californians believe that biological boys should not be competing in girls' sports. I was at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo just about a week ago and met some students there. They said that in their high school, girls they were changing in their car because they didn't want to go into the locker rooms in their school because you had biological boys in there. How have we put up with this insanity for so long? That's why we're going to kick these Democrats out. And you've got Tom Steyer, who's going to be even more left-wing. He wants to take us even further in the direction that a majority of Californians have now rejected. And you've got Becerra, who is Biden's useless health secretary. He's been a career politician in California for 36 years, more of the same. We're going to change in California. That's why you're seeing the energy for my campaign, for Spencer Pratt's campaign. We're outsiders. We've never run for office before. We're running to shake up a system that is obviously broken. My mission, cut your costs, help your business, fix our schools. That's what California needs. I think we can get it done.
Wow, incredible moment in time, and what a race, what race is in California. Steve, we're watching it, and we will be talking with you on the other side of this. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Maria. Great to be with you.
And to you. Steve Hilton joining us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.